Welcome to another episode of Edible Air Eats. This week we're talking French chef Paul Bocuse. He is the father of Nouvelle Cuisine. We're going to make one of his recipes today. This is his Vichyssoise. It's a soup that I'm sure you're all familiar with. It's a chilled potato leek soup. It's very hearty, very delicious, very satisfying. Paul Bocuse is considered the father of Nouvelle Cuisine because he embraced those ideas brought on by Ferdinand Poin. He was a big proponent of using quality ingredients. As you can see in this dish, there's very few things that are going to go into it. We have our butter, leeks, potatoes, some water, some cream, and some herbs. That's it. It's all about the quality of what you do. So we're going to go ahead and start making it. We're going to take our butter, we're going to melt it down, we're going to add in our leeks. You're only using the white parts of the leeks in this one. We're gonna cook these and just let them soften. We're not looking to brown them, we just wanna soften them up. Our leeks are pretty soft. Now it's time to move on to the next part. We're gonna add our potatoes. We're gonna add the potatoes. I'm draining out the excess water. Once you add your potatoes, you're just gonna mix well. And then we're gonna add the water, some salt and pepper, the thyme, and the parsley. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Our water, our thyme and parsley, a little salt and pepper. Now this we're gonna bring to a boil and let simmer for about 35 minutes. So remember, if you wanted to, instead of just adding water, you could have put some veggie stock or some chicken stock to amp it up and to give it some more flavor. But today I'm just showing you guys a Master Chef's recipe, so I'm not messing with it, I'm not changing it. But feel free to improvise if you guys want to. Pot is coming to a boil. Now we're just gonna reduce this to a simmer. It's been about 35 minutes. Our potatoes are tender, so now we're gonna move on to the next step. So we're going to strain, we're gonna separate the liquid from the solids. So it says you're supposed to put the solids in a bowl and reduce them to a puree. I don't really know how to do that in a bowl, so I'm going to put it in my blender. We got our potatoes and our leeks in the blender. Now we're going to puree. Whenever you're using a blender, always make sure it's on its lowest setting first, especially when you're pureeing something that's hot. This just came off the oven. You can see the steam. If this is all the way up and you don't pay attention, it will turn on and shoot out and possibly burn you. At worst, at best, just make a mess. You don't want that. As you puree, you want to turn it up to be as high as possible so you can get as fine a product as you can. We have reduced this to a puree, so now we're going to put it back in our pot. The recipe says to add your cream and a ladle of the liquid. It doesn't say how big of a ladle, so I'm going to assume that much. We're going to bring this back to a boil and then we're going to cool it down. This soup is served cold. Before we serve it, we're going to check it for seasoning. We're going to check it for the consistency of it. You want a nice soup even as it's cold. This more than likely will thicken up a little bit as it chills. So we're going to reserve that cooking liquid until it's cooled down completely and we can check. We brought this to a boil. We're going to take it off the heat, put it in a bowl so we can cool it down. Now before we go to cool this down, I'm going to add a little bit more salt to this. When you serve something cold, because there's no volatile aromatics coming off the food, it tends to need a little bit more seasoning. Food tends to taste a little more dull, so it tends to need a little bit more salt. We're gonna add a little bit more. Now this is gonna go sit, I'm gonna put this on an ice bath, cool it down real quick, and then let it sit in the refrigerator for a couple hours before we taste the final product. Our Vichyssoise is completely cooled down. And we're gonna check it for taste. You can see it's a little thick as well, so we're gonna add some of our reserved cooking liquid to it to thin it out to the right consistency. Add a little bit more of the reserved cooking liquid. Almost there. We have our soup at the appropriate consistency. Now it's already cold, so we're going to put it into containers. Oh, look at that. And now we're going to serve in one of our soup bowls. We're going to top it with some of the chopped chives. There you have Paul Bocuse Vichyssoise. Now the best part, we get to eat it. The chives give it a nice little texture to it. You get the leek, you get the potato, you get a little richness from the butter. You see, handful of ingredients, delicious food. It's all about how you treat it. It's all about how you care for it. Have a good day, guys. Keep on eating. Hey, guys, looking up your cooking skills? Click subscribe. Follow me as I break down dishes, dish out succulent tips, and show you a variety of recipes for you to learn from so you can not only keep on eating, but eat deliciously. Check out any of the other videos I got available for you to see.